come into sharp focus, the slaughterhouses in Uttar Pradesh. It was one of the issues that the BJP manifesto clearly mentioned, and it said that all slaughterhouses, legal or illegal, will be banned in the state. This evening, that's our special focus, in fact, on this broadcast. Let's take a look at the industry first and what it means for the state of Uttar Pradesh. Now, the state accounts for nearly 50% of India's total meat exports. Uttar Pradesh accounts for 34% of the total buffalo meat export from India, which was to the tune of 21,300 crore rupees last year. The share of Uttar Pradesh came to a whopping 7,200 crore rupees approximately. The nation in total exports 43% of buffalo meat that's consumed across the world. Now, those are some big numbers. Let's start this discussion this evening. Joining me in the studio right now is Dr. Shama Mohammed. She's a spokesperson for the Congress, also Dr. Ijaz Ilmi, the BJP spokesperson. Thank you, both of you, for joining me here on the show. Now, this is a big issue in today's day and age, and some would say that right after the BJP's massive mandate in Uttar Pradesh, this was something that had to come to the, to the forefront. Not even a week has passed, Dr. Ilmi. Let me start with you. What's the BJP's plan of action here?
Well, you're seeing the BJP's plan of action as promised in the manifesto. And I'd just like to correct what you said initially. We said that we will ban cow slaughter if it's happening. We will not allow this illegality to continue. Illegal slaughterhouses which do clandestine activity and illegal activities will be shut down, and we will regulate regular legal slaughterhouses. And we haven't touched the slaughterhouses because we've been in the center for power for a long time. We haven't touched them. We are very clear. Regulate, comply, follow rules and regulations. Don't pollute the water, follow systems, don't look at all the regulations that the veterinary department, the antemortem certificates are given to you. It's a very important issue that it should be done in a systematic manner, regulated and compliant for. But illegality, cow slaughter, cow smuggling, there's a total clampdown, and we intend to continue acting on those lines.
All right, so you're saying it's in line with what even the NGT had said back in 2015. I want to take in the Congress's response here. What do you think is happening over here in the state of Uttar Pradesh? Do you agree with Dr. Ilmi, or do you think this is purely a political move and nothing more than that?
See, the party also is against illegal slaughterhouses. If you remember, we have enacted in 2011 the Food Safety and Standard Act, in which we have clearly said that the centre gives licenses to slaughterhouses having big animals numbered 50, small animals above 150, and poultry more than 1,000, around 1,000. So, and that is for the centre. Anything less than that goes to the state. State has to give the permission for that or the license. So, if they really want to follow on, you have a law there, enact that law so that, you know, one very important thing is, I personally don't like to see blood. I have been in Muslim countries. I have never seen blood whenever there is Eid or something like that. And none of us want to see blood. So if I cannot see it, how do I expect a non-Muslim to see the blood? And nobody wants to see the blood. So you can have mechanized, you can have proper slaughterhouses, and we're all for it. Nobody wants to see blood everywhere. But having said that, we have to see that there are a lot of industries dependent on buffalo meat. Like you have mentioned, it's one of our biggest exports. And do you know that last year, there was only 150,000 jobs in this country. Now, this slaughterhouses, which are mechanized, not only give jobs to Muslims, it's for Hindus, for Dalits, for everybody, you know. So we can't again face a job loss. We went through demonetization where a lot of small-scale industries shut shop. Now, again, if we go through this, just imagine the people of Uttar Pradesh, what will happen. Now, the other day I was listening to that, the Lucknow Tundli Kebab, which is so famous, had to shut shop because there's no meat.
That's right.
So how do you differentiate? Where is the line drawn?
With chicken, nobody is buying that.
Yeah, and so I've heard a chicken shop was set on fire. Now, you can't set something on fire. You can go and close it down or whatever. Right. Show them the papers. So enact the law which we have. In that, we've clearly said mechanized slaughterhouses should not be located where there is people around. It has to be clean, and we've given complete, a lot of things which the slaughterhouse owners have to comply with. How do we know these are vindictive?
So you've raised a couple of important points. Let me take that to Dr. Ijaz Ilmi now. Ijaz, what about the economic fallout? How is the BJP planning to deal with that? And secondly, what happened in Hathras over there?
Well, as far as Hathras is concerned, I'm very, very clear. Any form of vigilantism, any form of mob culture, torching of shops is something that the BJP condemns vehemently. Secondly, we asked the police to file an FIR, and they did file an FIR and look into it as to find out who was responsible. We don't believe in vigilantism. It's something that is not permissible under the Constitution. Secondly, in terms of people running illegal shops, it could be illegal shops of any variety. They should comply with. They should go to the municipal corporations, get regular licenses, follow procedures, because you're dealing with animals, and the potential for disease is large. You have to comply with certain norms. There's the issue of pollution, water pollution. There are various issues that need to be done. On the issue of abattoirs, meat processing plants, which are legal, supported by a PIDA, Ministry of Commerce, and comply with about 20 different regulations. If the regulations are not in order, then they will obviously get time to do that. In fact, a minister, Mr. Siddharth Singh, on record that legal slaughterhouses will function as long as they don't commit illegal activities. So the issue is illegality. We need to stop illegality, the cutting of animals, the slaughter of animals in the open at any random place. This was going on for far too long. In fact, I'm surprised for 14 years we had non-BJP governments. Why nobody bothered to look into something as important as this is the question that needs to be answered.
In the 2011, we have enacted the law, so it's been looked into it from them. I don't know what he's talking about. And pollution of water is the first time I'm hearing about it. How the water gets polluted, I don't understand it. But what I'm trying to say is then enact those laws. But every time there's lip service, you know, we are against this. We will stop vigilantism. You have the anti-Romeo squads and wrong things are happening.
Also,
so let's stop this
having
lip service.
said that, I want to talk about, there are a lot of stakeholders. They're saying that we don't have a problem if you shut down illegal slaughter units, but there must be adequate clarity. There must be some sort of communication which must be adequately clear. Right now what we're seeing is a sense of fear, a sense of confusion. What does the BJP plan to do about that?
You know, I'll tell you what is going on for the long time. I won't make it just political, but the district magistrates, the ADMs, the SSPs, the inspectors, the veterinary inspectors, all these people, Pollution Control Board, they would go and pick up money from legal and illegal slaughterhouses and look away. For the first time, they are forced to comply and actually look at these situations. I mean, the government will also haul up these people as to why they didn't act if illegal activities are happening. Secondly, if slaughterhouses are shut today, some number of them which have all the permissions, but if they're not complying with certain issues, that the government will look at. We are not restricting, shutting down business. We want you to comply and regulate business. The ministers, after the new government of Chief Minister Yogi, we've clearly come out and said that please do legitimate business with legal compliance and regulation. Don't commit irregularities.
I need to come for that and rebut it.
Right.
So my question to him is, he's been saying the Yogi government has come. The centre, their government has been in power from 2014. And since I said above certain things, the centre is in charge of those. Why didn't last year, we had never had this big export from our country.
Right.
Then why was it not stopped by the central government? There are slaughterhouses which are under them. Why couldn't they stop, bring up their license?
I'll tell you.
So why has the increase
I'll tell you why the exports will not be stopped.
Yeah.
Why
the exports have increased under
regular
them the last 2 years.
Regular exports have to continue, but the compliance issue. But there's slaughterhouses in Punjab, there's in Maharashtra, they're continuing. The issue is compliance. Catching hold of irregularities.
But a lot of slaughterhouses, as we understand, do not comply. So does that mean the exports are going to come down drastically and Uttar Pradesh is going to lose its status, the kind of money that it gets in for the country? Because compliance, if you talk about it, it could take time. Is the BJP willing to give that time is one question. Also, there is no official order from the state government. What is happening? Nobody understands right now.
I'll tell you what the Chief Minister said clearly. That shut down illegal slaughterhouses and act very clearly on these issues. On regular license slaughterhouses, meat processing plants, it's very clear. There are regulations, please comply. There could be 20, 30 regulations. Please comply. There should not be complaints of illegalities against those houses. Yes, the local administration sometimes looks away, sometimes goes overboard, but the reality is that compliance, I've spoken to some people, the fact, Shama, I've been to one of these meat processing plants, I saw for myself much earlier. It's very clear, there is a lot of regulation, but there is, because you deal with animals, it's about disease, it's about water, it's about pollution. Please get your pollution certificates in order, your compliances in order, and I think that as Mr. Siddharth Singh, our minister, said in the new government, that we are not against these situations, but don't commit irregular illegalities.
So that's what we did that was the 2011 Act we have enacted, is that we have said the same thing, no illegal slaughterhouses. We are very clear, the Congress party. Of course, we are against it. But when you're doing something like this, how are you going to do it? Like you said, there has to be a way to do it. You just don't take people who they're living off all of a sudden. There has to be a way to do it. And how? Like you said, there's not been an order. So you need to have
lakhs of people are going to be jobless. But Dr. Shama Mohammed, let me talk to you about, like I asked him in the very beginning, what is BJP's game plan? What does the Congress party at this point understand the way BJP is moving forward, the way the Prime Minister and the Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath is moving in Uttar Pradesh? What's the BJP's end game? And do you think it has something to do with the timing as well? I mean, just a few days after taking oath, and we see this kind of confusion and people are scared as well.
Yes, there's this fear psychosis now in all ways. The slaughterhouse, of course, again, I'm going to reiterate, we are against illegal slaughterhouses. The Congress party does not like it, and we do have the law. Cow slaughter is not allowed in many states, except, if I'm not wrong, the northeastern, Kerala and Goa. These are the states where we are. So we have been following those laws, and these laws have, and you also had various issues in which we have followed it. But what I'm trying to say is that there is a lot of fear psychosis, even not just minorities, but even with the Romeo squads, it's fear psychosis. Yesterday they picked up, I'm just saying, yesterday they picked up 2 people who were going for a movie, and they're a couple. One was taken to the police station, the other one was given a dressing down. So what I'm trying to say is we have to work not like a banana republic. We have to work like a democracy. If you don't want something, there are laws, enact and enforce laws. In our country, the issue is we don't enforce our laws. Let's keep people to enact and enforce laws rather than doing vigilantism.
But the BJP also doesn't endorse that. But Dr. Ilmi, now the All India Meat and Live Exporters Association, their office bearers are trying to meet the Chief Minister for the past several days now. They're not able to meet him. They're not able to present their case to the Chief Minister. Can you give us a sense of what the BJP is going to do in such a scenario where we're talking about livelihoods of people, we're talking about the money in the economy involved, but the BJP, it seems, it's going to go ahead and honor its poll promise?
Well, the poll promise was to shut down illegal slaughterhouses, and that is being done. And the idea was to regulate. The word used in Hindi was pratibandh. Compliance and regulation is very, very
important. Also means ban.
It's how you look at it.
Pratibandh means ban. I understand, and this is a ban. So
it's how you look at it.
So how can you say how you look at
No,
it? You can't say how you look at it. See, we are in a democracy. We are not a banana republic.
The meat processing plants that have been shut by the district administration and the pollution control board, they've given notices that this was lacking, which is why they've been shut down.
So why don't you do a step by step and start educating these people, give them something to do? What about the job loss?
People who are exporters, who run these...
Give them notices. Give them a time frame. Give a notice and say, this is the time frame you have for shutting it down and, to start a new place where it's mechanized or whatever. This is how it works.
From my understanding, I feel that there is no official communication, there is no plan on paper as far as the BJP is concerned, or maybe it has a plan, but we don't know about it, Dr. Ilmi.
Well, it's very clear, what the government is doing, and in fact, we're cracking down hard and trying to uphold the rule of law, which was totally lacking in the state of UP in terms you're talking about the anti-Romeo squad. There have been cases of harassment and eve-teasing galore. Yeah. It's about time one steps in and gives...
So what about Maharashtra, where there are highest number of molestation, 11,000 last year? Who's the government there?
I agree with you.
Party. Highest number of rapes, Madhya Pradesh. This is not mine. NCRB report. What are you doing there?
Absolutely.
Let's focus on the debate this evening on the slaughterhouses.
We've come to power after 14 years. It's very clear. The state has been run down so badly that there has to be some semblance of law and order and a cracking message going that you please follow law, and you try and harass and try and eve-tease our women and our sisters. It's something that's not done, and you'll have to pay a price.
So how in this case, talking about the slaughterhouses, don't you think that it is the people of Uttar Pradesh who are being harassed, lakhs and lakhs of them who are in this trade, who are completely clueless as to what their future, what the future holds for them? Because the BJP during its campaign had made cattle smuggling an emotive issue. We all know about it. But it had gone to the extent of saying that even automated slaughterhouses will be closed soon when the BJP will come to power. But there are no guidelines that we see to that effect. Is the BJP making a U-turn on that?
No, what is the U-turn? We said cow smuggling, slaughter of cows is impermissible. It will not happen. So how do you stop that? By first shutting down illegal slaughterhouses which conduct clandestine activities.
Give them notices.
There's no question of notices for illegal slaughterhouses. They should have had their licenses. If they come out in the open, then you can't slaughter cows. The fact that you have illegal slaughterhouses is for
should have
illegal
been
activities.
closed before. You know, we had enacted the law.
The fact is they weren't closed before because your allies, the SP,
what
Samajwadi
about
Party government wanted to look away.
So what about
and
the
they
central?
were hand in glove with
What about the central government notices? Why haven't you worked on that for the last 2.5 years?
The central government
those slaughterhouses, why didn't you close them? There were so many of those illegal slaughterhouses where the central government could have given it.
Gives notices, there's compliance, you have to comply. The local state pollution control board officials are the ones who come.
The central government has certain slaughterhouses under them which they can close, which they have.
The central government only gives permission. Central government under APIDA, Ministry of Commerce, only gives permission for compliance. There are 20 different forms that you have to fill.
Yeah, so
the Department of Veterinary
look into it. Why haven't you looked into it?
Hazard, water pollution, water testing, all these things are there.
Okay, Dr. Elmi, do you think the government should have introduced a system to let those who are operating without licenses, let's say, apply for them? In the meantime, illegal slaughterhouses, have come up. There weren't any government-backed facilities as well. There has to be a reason as to why so many illegal slaughterhouses came about in the first place. Should there be a time limit set? What was the hurry?
The fact that this illegal slaughterhouses came about was the government looked away and was conniving for these illegal activities to continue. The fact we've put a stop to this illegality by shutting down illegal slaughterhouses is very clear. On the flip side, on mechanized meat processing plants and all that, which are PIDA compliant, Ministry of Commerce compliant, as long as you follow rules and regulations, it should be all right. But if there are violations or there are some compliance issues, then the government is bound to act at the state level.
Right. What would you say? Prime Minister Modi, remember, had attacked in 2014 during the Lok Sabha elections, said that the UPA was promoting a pink revolution by encouraging meat exports. So are we then to understand, with the way the government is acting, that there's going to be a complete sort of a blanket ban that we're looking at slaughterhouses? Is it about the buffaloes and the goats as well in the long run?
See, if we were supporting the pink revolution, my question is, why has the beef export increased after 2014? 15 and 16 has seen much higher than 2014. So what is the Prime Minister talking about is my question. So the pink revolution has increased after he has come, and he has to stop lip service and talking things which are not true. We have never increased the pink revolution. In fact, we are the ones who have enacted the law. So if we have enacted that law, food safety and standard law, is because we do not want illegal slaughterhouses. We do not want cows to be slaughtered. And we're clear about it. It's buffalo meat. And we do not want blood to be seen everywhere. We have given regulations, mechanized, very important, we have told. But only thing is, we do not want a kind of vigilantism that you can take law into your hands and close down whatever and find out, this particular thing, okay, we do not think it is right to have this slaughterhouse. And how do we draw the line between buffalo, cow meat, chicken shop? What is is there somebody who's checking all these things?
Sure, yeah.
The illegal slaughterhouses are the ones which slaughter anything, buffalo or cow. That is what we are against. We will not allow that to happen. The slaughterhouses which are APIDA control or Ministry of Commerce compliant, they have, it's a fixed situation. They are allowed to slaughter X amount of large animals. It can only be buffalo or goat or something like that. So why there is
a shortage of meat in UP now? The Tunde Kebab has closed down in Lucknow. It's one of the most, it's your iconic structure.
I'll tell you,
so why there is shortage of meat? Even for the animals in the zoo, there's shortage of meat.
I'm from Lucknow and Kanpur, I'll tell you. There is shortage of buffalo meat, illegal slaughter of buffalo meat and illegal slaughter of beef in general. The reality is, it's going to have an impact, yes. But the fact is, why can't the people be compliant and take licenses from the municipal authorities to run legal businesses? That is very important. Secondly, if you're totally compliant and regulations are in place, then the government won't clamp down on you. It's only when you are in violation that the government allows the government.
But that is the norm in all democracies. A violation. Is it something new the BJP has introduced?
For 14 years, yeah, you're right. For 14 years, there was no rule of law. It was a reality that it was open season for everybody.
So you're talking about that's important. Was there rule of law in Madhya Pradesh?
The BSP and the SP. I mean, you run the state to the ground, and the fact is there is no rule of law.
No, there is no rule. Then we have to look at various other things where there is no rule of law. So let's now talk about rule of law.
Implementation of rule of law. I'm talking about implementation.
Yeah, implementation of rule of law, that of course you have to look into it, but why haven't you answered why the pink, you just mentioned about the pink revolution. Why has this pink revolution increased after, when he has pointed fingers at the Congress party? Why has meat, buffalo exports, cow meat, whatever has increased after you all come into power at the center?
The export is only of buffalo meat.
Sorry, export, huh?
Export is only of buffalo meat.
Right.
The illegality is about cow slaughter and cow smuggling.
So what was he pointing fingers at us? That was also the same before. There was no pink revolution with the Congress party. We were also for buffalo and not for cow.
Because the political parties in different states were looking away at illegal slaughter and cattle smuggling and cow smuggling.
So why blame it on the Congress party?
It is a reality. The fact that
don't blame it on the Congress party.
No, I'm not blaming you. I'm blaming your allies, your dear allies who you fight elections with. That's the reason.
No, we just that is a recent ally. But you have allies like Shiv Sena where you call each other extortionists and things like that. Ours was just allying over here. So let's not talk about allies.
We have another debate coming up on the Shiv Sena MP, but that's at 8 o'clock. But right now, you know, another question that I want to ask you is, why such a hurry?
We've been given the mandate to govern and implement rule of law, and if you're going to fight illegalities and send a message that we're here to mean business, then I think not a day too late to start with. It's better to start early than wait for 10, 15 days and to sleep over these issues. You have to show that you want to change, bring about a change in governance in UP and show that clarity and transparency, which is why the government, and every day this message is being sent out. You're doing things to inculcate a sense into people that we will look after you equally and we will, without fear or favor, and that is the message that is going across. You will have to give us some more time in terms of, I mean, please don't forget that we've come after 14 years. It's going to take some time, 6 months to 1 year's time, to actually get the state back on track.
So we've come after 14 years. And
I just want to add to it is, why are the illegal slaughterhouses in Maharashtra not being closed? It's a BJP-run state. They have a lot of illegal slaughterhouses. After UP, the highest export comes from Maharashtra. So why don't you do that? Yes, why only UP?
I'm sure the Fadnavis government must have shut down. They must have shut down.
No, they still have illegal slaughterhouses.
We had a new law come in.
I live in Maharashtra, so I'm talking about Maharashtra.
Please file a complaint and make sure
why are they not looking into it? Why should we file a complaint?
Please.
So we can do that in UP also. Why don't you look into all states equally? This has to be stopped everywhere.
Why the rush and why only in the state of Uttar Pradesh? It certainly has to do, if you believe other political
I'm surprised.
Well, you should have started in Maharashtra also.
If the BJP is fighting illegalities and you are not in sync with us, then I can't do a thing about it.
We are very much in sync, maybe better than you.
Right now, I'll have to end this here, but the point is that both the centre and the state, which is now in Uttar Pradesh as, you know, the BJP, it's the same party, they need to come out with some kind of workable solutions, because right now it seems that there is not much clarity as far as this ban on slaughterhouses is concerned, on illegal slaughterhouses in Uttar Pradesh. But I'd like to thank Dr. Shama Mohammed of the Congress and Dr. Ijaz Umi of the BJP for joining me this evening and, you know, clarifying their stance on the show. We're going to be taking a short break. More news and updates follow in just a bit. Stay with us.